It starts with the changes in you, right?
Yeah.
It's the change in you. Will you allow somebody else to think differently, believe differently, and vote differently than you? Can you be okay with that? And you can ask yourself that question, because that's what makes America America. You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you, but we can still live. You can still be my neighbor.
So here's my call to action. If you know somebody or yourself, if you happen to stumble across this podcast, and now that we're 27 minutes into it, you're probably boiling. But for whatever reason, you're still watching.
Yeah. Why?
And if you have a different belief, or if you know someone that has a different belief, please reach out. I am dead ass serious about this. We will have a video conference.
He said dead ass.
Dead ass. We will have a video conference to just talk about the guidelines, the rules, and then I will fly somebody here to sit down on this podcast with us to talk about a different view constructively.
I would love
for those that think that we are just blowing smoke. Squirrel. Go.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Talk Hard Podcast. We are live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania today, ladies and gentlemen.
We are that like stroke infested dude that was a governor or something.
Stroke infest?
I feel like he's having a lot of strokes.
Oh, he's not stroking. The song. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Stroke it.
Yeah.
I stroke it.
Nope. He's having strokes.
This is such a weird way to start the show. Anyway, guys, this is Talk Hard Podcast. My name is Marty Norman.
I'm still Brian Gordon.
And this over here on the keys is Mr. Chris Corn on the cob, baby. Anyway, welcome to the show, guys. We got a great show. But before we get into the great show that we have for you, dude, you're not going to want to miss this show. Absolutely. This is one of those life
I'm not going to say
changers.
anything until you stop and hit the subscribe button.
I'll wait. He'll wait.
It's gonna be a half hour,
30-minute show of him thinking he's manifesting. Anyway,
Push
guys, we would really appreciate if you guys
button.
will subscribe to our channel, send this over to your friends, send this out, share it out, whatever you got to do, man. Let's get us out there. We really appreciate the support. We really do. And we're just a couple of idiots. Do not take anything we say seriously, because we don't know anything about anything. This is why we are where we are and who we are.
Speak for yourself.
I don't even know. I just blacked out.
I was actually going to say you're welcome for all of the great things that are happening in your life today.
It's direct result of listening.
The direct result of the power of my manifestation. You're welcome.
You're welcome. He may have a complex.
Such as...
Okay, what is it?
I have to celebrate like two quick things.
Okay.
And I know you guys are going to get mad. I don't really care. Bud Light is now down 30%.
Jesus Christ. Oh.
Look, for those in recovery, this is a celebration because they're not going to be able to afford to put as much beer out there. Hopefully this will help.
Oh my goodness. I don't know anybody that drink Bud Light anyway, so.
And number two.
But hold on. How dumb was that marketing strategy?
So somebody's got a conspiracy theory that there's this thing called the equity and inclusion credit or something where you have to do a certain type of thing. You get a special credit bonus from the government.
Oh, they get government money.
So
that makes sense.
Because otherwise, I hope you got a 50% tax break because you lost 30% in the market. So I hope you got a fat tax break. But there's somebody that's on the conspiracy because that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry.
As to why they would do it?
Not personally been around a Bud Light drinker that I thought of as feminine, even when it came to women.
Well, I'm going to say this too.
Most of the girls that drink Bud Light can kick my butt. So
I want to say this too. I've not been around a masculine man who drinks Bud Light. I'm sorry. Nah, but anyway, I don't care either way, wrong, right, or indifferent. It makes zero F's to me as to.
I don't really care. I think about. I think about the business.
I'm everything. Yeah, I'm in marketing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I look at it like that was just a
horrible move.
Horrible.
Yes.
They basically flipped the middle finger to the largest consumer. That's their consumers.
Yep, and they're still paying for it. So there's got to be something behind it. But
regardless.
So last week I heard about this new housing. I don't even know the word for it because I know it's supposed to stimulate housing sales, but I didn't understand the thought process behind it, which basically meant that if you have a 680 or higher, you pay more, or 650, you pay more.
640, actually.
You pay more
than
somebody that has a 640 or below.
Well, hold on. So
Like there's a bigger fee up front, and then your percentage rate is 0.75 higher.
Yeah, so you're going to pay a bigger percentage up front. But anyway, you're not going to get a house if you're 640 or 640 is about the minimum, right?
Used to be.
And I want to get into that too because there's so 640 is about the minimum typically of where you can purchase a house, your credit.
Right.
So what it is people that's got a 640, 650, 660, 670, right? So what that is they pay a larger percentage. They get worse interest rates, right? Than somebody who has like a 730. So they're going to pay less percentage up front and their interest rates are going to be a lot better. Right, their interest rates are going to be a lot. Why?
Chris is buying a house.
Why? Right. Why? Because they've worked their ass off to get their credit right. They've worked their ass off to get established credit in their life. Right.
Yeah.
So now, I've read this. I looked into this. Those people who have a 700 or larger are going to get a taxation. On the house that they buy,
bigger fees up front,
bigger
interest rate by 0.75%,
and like a flat monthly fee, like it equates to thousands of dollars.
So again, you're welcome.
But but what that is essentially is saying, okay, this guy over here, which was me 2 years ago, I couldn't get a loan for a house because my credit wasn't shit. I didn't have enough credit built up.
You shouldn't. Nothing personal. I had bad credit for a long time. You don't deserve a home when you are still struggling to get your past in order.
Right.
Because that is a high risk loan, right? It is. People are like, oh, well, the house doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, but it's very difficult to evict someone. You can live in a house for years fighting with the bank in court and all of the fun.
Do you remember 2008 and 2009? The housing bubble? You remember why that happened? Because they gave loans to people who couldn't afford them.
Yep.
That's why the housing bubble happened. They gave out millions of loans to people that had the
refi was
huge. And they, bro, they're intelligent. They're very smart. They knew what they were doing. They knew these people couldn't afford them. They knew they was going to foreclose on these houses, just like they know what they're doing now.
Oh, for sure.
They know that it's all about.
But it makes them look cool.
Well, it makes them look good, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they care about us.
I care about you losers that can't afford to pay your bills.
Right. But it's what it,
I was a loser, so I'm allowed to say that. Just like I can talk about drugs.
Agreed.
Like, I was a loser. I'm allowed to say that. If you can't pay your bills and your credit sucks, you are a loser.
And period. Thank God for the losers in the world, right? But I too, right? But the fact is, I had to work my butt off, got my credit up, got my credit established over a period of time.
Yeah.
It takes a while. It takes years.
Yeah. And I'm saying that because there are other people out there like my wife. Her credit score scares the crap out of me. It's so perfect.
Right.
I don't think she's ever received a bill in the mail that she didn't find a way to pay it.
Right.
Period.
Ever.
Right. Like, that does not sit well with her. Her credit score is so scary that I could walk into any dealership.
Any bank.
Anywhere. And be like, I need a loan. And they'd be like, sure.
But
bet it against your assets and you can have whatever you want.
Anything.
Honestly.
But she worked for that. You know,
she has worked very hard and taken it very seriously. Now, there are others. And my bad credit was my problem. I took big risks. Some of them didn't work out so well. I went business, divorce, a lot of things that came into play with it. And the reality of it is I just didn't want to deal with it. Could I have? Yes.
Pushed it off.
I could have found a way. I could have called the banks and been like, look, let's work something out. Instead, I just said, nope. And I got bad credit for it.
Don't mess with that.
But now I've been working my face off to get the credit back up. And now, for the first time in years, honestly, recently, I walked into a dealership to refinance something. And they're like, you have great credit.
We'll give
no down.
Anything on lot.
No down. Do whatever you need to. And I was like, I just need to take this out of the lease. I don't want to put any money down. I want the same payment. Cool.
So don't think for 1 minute that they...
Oh, they don't care about you.
The whole thing this administration is doing is saying, hey, everybody who's got less than perfect credit or less than good credit or even fair credit, we are giving to you. We want your votes. That's all it is. And they know exactly what this will cause. This will cause yet another housing bubble, and it will pop.
But do you remember what I said? The reason I'm bringing this up is because do you remember what I said like 3 weeks ago? I believe in humanity.
Okay.
I firmly believe in humanity. 27 of our states, this happened, like this whole new legislation was a couple weeks ago. Within a couple of weeks, 27 of our states are saying, no, you're out of your mind.
Right.
We are not going to support this because there is the government and then there's still state. The states are saying,
federal and there's state,
hold on. This is a bad idea. We are not going to allow our state banks to back this.
We did this before.
Because we've seen this movie and it sucked.
Yeah.
I don't like the ending unless you were on the other side. You got bailed out.
There's a few people that like
There's a few people that enjoyed the ending. But I believe in humanity and we learn from our mistakes. And they're pushing back hard this time. Like real hard. They're saying, wait a minute. So I got excited about the trophies being taken away. I didn't realize that meant now they're giving away houses.
To people who can't afford them.
So the trophies have no longer, but again, I've talked about this. When you get a reward, it doesn't matter as much anymore. So they got their rewards. They're like, this don't matter anymore. So now we're giving away houses. Like an Oprah Winfrey show. And you get a house, and you get a house, and we're just giving them away.
No. Damn well it's going to get foreclosed on.
There are 27 states that are currently saying no. This is not going to happen.
I bet you Florida is one of those states.
I guarantee Florida is one of the states. And I guarantee it will continue to cause a ruckus until naturally, there's the power of the president. I'm going to veto this and blah, 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 whatever. You're going to cause a situation if you continue to push back on the data. The data of the people are saying, wait a minute. This isn't helping.
Well, everybody with the 640 or under is like, oh my God, this is great. Thank you so much. This is going to be this is everything. Oh my God.
It's a free house.
These people are just being amazing to us. I can't wait to vote this political side next 2024.
Yeah.
And you guys got to be aware that everything, I hate to talk political, but everything that they have done is only to get you. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They don't care about that Lives Matter crap. They don't care about any of that. They just care about your vote.
I was okay with it until I saw our current president go on and have like a full-on news, whatever the heck they call those things. Where
Meltdown?
He was no. Yeah, that's normal. No, like a big deal out about like, we're going to make gay marriage legal. Dude, where are you at? Mm-hmm. This has been a thing. For a while, I don't even think about it.
But there's people there.
People are shooting photography because I was a wedding photographer for many years. There's a lot of photographers out there, and I did too. I don't have a problem with it. I don't care if you want to marry a tree.
Yeah,
I'll shoot your wedding. If you got the money, I'll shoot your wedding.
Yeah.
Right. I just don't want to see anything inappropriate while I'm there. But
a lot of still photos.
Yes, very still. But like I realized that they don't care about us. They care about the optics when they made a big ordeal about that. I was like, you're missing something, sir. That's already happened.
Well,
stop making a big deal out of something.
There's people that watch that news and they're like, oh my God, you see what he just did?
Right.
That's so great.
Yeah.
It's about time.
Right.
That's how
not realizing that their neighbors are married.
That's the ignorance that we're in today. Yeah. It's just like, it's just all these pushes. It's like, I don't want to talk political too much, but all these pushes, man, they're all going towards one thing. They want one thing, man. And a lot of, like you said, a lot of states are like, no, we're not doing that. And I feel like a lot of states are going to pull out of the union. And I know there's conversations, a lot of states talking about it already. Yeah. Texas being one of them, of course. But
Texas has been trying for years. California, go. I'll cite it. Whatever. Not that I have the power, but I'd be more than happy to support that.
Yeah.
And I lived there for most of my life.
They can move their whole country.
My whole point to that was I believe in humanity, and I believe that humanity is starting to finally see. So, look, this is where I'm at with our current president. If it took that train wreck, like that drunk blonde at the bar that should go home, but she just keeps stumbling around.
Me?
No. Are you blonde?
I'm talking about
I'm sorry, but ladies are usually the one that I see stumbling around the bar. I've had plenty of friends, but they usually just fall over. So the girl's usually the one that has enough drive to stumble. And out of that night, you realize how great your friends are because they weren't doing that. So if that drunk blonde at the bar is what it took for us to realize that we need to push back, then I am all for what has happened thus far because humanity has needed this. We have needed ignorance and idiocracy and all of these things to come to the forefront for us to say, wait a minute, this does not align with the core values of America. It was built on entrepreneurship. It was built on hard work.
Capitalism.
It was built on all of these things. And
capitalism.
Stop.
Capitalism.
Some people are going to go down the race. I don't even want to go down that road because I understand it was there. I wasn't there. That is not what I don't believe America was built on slavery. I don't believe that, because there are people that believe that, though. I wasn't there. I believe in entrepreneurship to the point where those people of different cultures have been able to come here and create greatness.
Yeah. Regardless of how it started.
Yeah, regardless. Like what we have today, a lot of bad roads created great things. So while I am empathetic about what was happening back then, I don't know. I can't feel it because I don't have a clue. I haven't seen anything remotely like that.
Yeah.
So I can't relate to it and act like I understand it. What I do understand is people, humanity, and this is what is happening today. People are pushing back. We're finally saying, "Hey, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense."
I'm worried. What I'm liking watching.
Why, someone's going to take the blonde home?
That's it, right? You got to worry about that. But what I'm worried about, I'll tell you what I'm worried about first. But what I'm watching is those people 2 years ago that were maybe onto another movement, if you will, without saying too much. We're so gun-ho about this movement, are now 2 years later going, holy, okay, all right, I was lied to.
Yep.
And I was wrong because I believed what they told me about this, and this, and I was all about it. But now I'm starting to see the truth of it. Yep. And I was shammed, you know, and that's, I love seeing that. I love seeing people come and be like, man, I was lied to about, you know, the C word. I was lied to about the movement that was tearing up every city and every state, you know, and I was lied to about all these different things. And now I'm starting to see the truth, and that part I like. And I love what you're saying about humanity and how, you know, because it's true that any tragic things that happen, we pull together. I think this is the first time in the history of America where we've had a tragic epidemic, if you will, happen to where it was been so divided. Usually when 9/11, for example.
I posted when the C word first hit, I went on Facebook and said, we are about to see the truth of people. You are either going to care about your neighbor and do something about it, or you're going to be the opposite side.
I think more of that happened.
That is what happened. And humanity said, what?
Yeah.
This is a pattern. Like I've talked about this 1,000 times. Pattern, creation. People started realizing that there was a shift in a pattern that took years. This division of people, and we started fighting about religion and all these other things and cultures, and it became religion, you name it. We started finding ways to divide each other. And every 4 years, there's this big push on race and religion across the whole
every 4 years,
country.
4 years, ladies and gentlemen.
Pattern
4
recognition.
years.
Google it.
Election time.
Last election cycle, I actually had someone text me, here comes a certain movement of people. And I went, what? Oh, you didn't notice 4 years ago? Google this, and and I just start Googling news cycles during election years, and you will see the patterns. It is almost creepy. I don't want to explain it to people because I want them to do the research. I don't want to steer the conversation. Start Googling what was covered in news cycles during election years.
It's always the same.
It's always religious, race, and severely political division.
So their goal.
But it was so subtle. It's finally hitting us in the face.
It's not subtle anymore.
No, there's nothing subtle about it. Where people are scared to talk to their neighbor. People won't date someone because they're opposite in the political spectrum. Are you effing crazy,
bro? You know, look. Their goal from
is the new religion. Their Democrat, Republican are two new religions,
right? But their goal I talk about and I'm talking about the globalist elites. Their goal from day one has always been to divide and conquer. That's the number one thing. That's what they need to do. They need to divide a nation so they can conquer it, right? And they've been doing it. Baby steps, like the frog in water, right? You can't just put a frog in boiling water. He's going to jump right out. You can put the frog in the water and then turn the heat up slowly, and he'll sit there till he boils to death. Yeah. Right? And that's what they've been doing.
Slow and steady changes in patterns cause new forms.
Until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? 2 years ago, they cranked the heat all the way up, and they just threw...
Everybody started jumping.
And I have never... And I ain't been around here that long, 44 years, but... I've never seen a country so divided. Now, of course, I wasn't alive during the 60s when the war was going on and all that. I guess there was a lot of stuff going on then, too, but I think this is making it look like a day in the park. you know? So I have always loved that about humanity, though. I mean, anytime something bad has happened in this country, like 9/11, like we all pulled together. The whole country did. Like there was a continuum of vibrations that everybody was on the same frequency about 9/11. It was horrible. We pulled together. We made some difference. Now, granted, I have a lot of theories on that as well, but that's another story, right? You know, but the country pulled together, and then this happened, and I've never seen it so, like you said, like you don't talk about, you're afraid to say you like this president or that president. You're afraid to say you're this religion or this religion.
You saw them turn the heat up, but they didn't notice they were turning it up too fast. They were trying the slow approach. Like 9/11 was a shock value. We got punched in the face, and everybody went, "Whoa, wait, what? Nope,
let's go.
Wait,
let's go.
Let's go." We had something we could identify with. Shock value, focus, attack. Right. This one was like, is it coming? Is it here? Is it not here? I think I know somebody. Do you know somebody?
I better not say if I know somebody.
Like, I don't know. Should I wear a mask? Was there a mask? Who's wearing a mask? I wear masks all the time.
What religion is he? What race is he?
But then all of a sudden it got turned up too fast, and people started jumping. People started moving, and you started going, what the heck was going on? But now humanity's pushing back. People were losing hope.
Yeah,
I was seeing it on a regular basis. People were losing hope, but humanity is finally going, wait a second, this doesn't feel right.
They messed up.
How many cones are you going to hit, Dad, before you realize you're drunk and you need to pull over?
They really messed up with this one, you know, because the powers to be really messed up with this, with the person that's in power now. Because like, I don't see how, like, even if you were far left. And I'm not saying I don't speak on if I'm far right, I'm far left, if I'm in the middle, but I'm saying even if you're far left, you cannot look at who your leader is and say he's doing a great job. I think they messed up. I think he's got so far out of whack that everybody's like, okay, whoa, something's wrong here.
Here's what I'm a little confused on, and I'm just going to say it. They attacked our other president's personality, and yet we're not attacking our current president's severe lack of
personality,
mental cognition, period. That's a personality, I guess.
I seen it where, you know, a reporter asked him the other day, he's like, you know, there's talk about you being cognitive and being able enough to run again, and he's like, I am better than ever.
When your drug addicted drunk son has got to tell you how to answer a question during a news briefing, you're clearly off the rails.
Oh, Hunter, that's a good dude right there.
He really is. I give him credit. I mean, some people are jealous of him. He's banging hookers and cocaine. I mean, it sounds like the real American dream that he's living. Oh, he took that movie a little far, but we're good with it.
Jesus.
But
anyway.
but again, it's again, I brought this up because of humanity.
I don't want people to be divided on this. Like I don't care if you're for the current presidents and the administration or against them.
I don't care who's in charge. I watch the data.
I do care about the American. I do care about freedom. I do care about sovereignty. I do care about our general consensus as Americans, and I feel like we are hugely and historically more divided now than we've ever been, and that's not a good. It's not a good feeling. We're tired of it. It's really not.
No,
it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling to be able to out here and you know, you talk about something and then you're going to have somebody attack you, whether it be physically or verbally, about what you like, what you don't like.
Well, for people to understand how the push happens, I saw this big the cancel culture. Right, they're going after TV shows. Go back and watch. What are we watching right now? My wife's watching it. It was the next great designer show that they had on with Heidi Klum, I believe.
I have no idea.
It's all about clothes designing, right?
Okay.
And it's got Heidi Klum on it, and it's got Michael Kors is one of the judges, and I'm watching this, and this was 2016, 2017. Go back and watch. If you're out there and you just watch, you will feel like you're watching the most inappropriate thing on the planet. The way they speak to each other.
You used to be able to be inappropriate.
No, I don't disagree, but if you were cancel culture and you want to cancel the Dukes of Hazzard because they're causing oppression, and yet we're letting mainstream shows that obviously generate a lot of money, and Harvey Weinstein is the executive producer before he got busted.
My.
Nothing canceled. Still regularly streaming like 12, 13 seasons.
Okay.
So I don't believe in cancel culture unless you're going to cancel everything. I believe in consistency. If you got a problem with one thing, have a problem with it across the whole entire board.
All right.
If you're going to give out trophies, give them to everybody. If you're not, take them away from everybody. If you're going to cancel somebody for saying a certain thing, cancel everybody. Not just who fits your narrative. Everybody. If there are going to be rules, follow all of them.
You got to go with the ones that fit your narrative or it just doesn't work.
So humanity's pushing back. We're finally saying, hey, wait a minute. 27 states within a 2-week period are like, dude, wait a second. This doesn't make sense. Now they're pushing back on the new spending bill saying, look, we get it. We need to lower our spending. They're raising our debt, but lowering how we spend it, right? Like
we talked about this.
We can raise the debt ceiling, but we need to be more careful with it. We need to watch where it's going.
They're just going to print more money, and which will cause more inflation and value, and it's like that's a whole thing.
But for those that are watching, and the main reason why I'm bringing this up is humanity. And if you're one of the people and you believe in humanity, this is, again, I'm just going to say you're welcome. Because I manifest.
He brought you humanity.
I manifest that humanity is great and that we are going to push back. We don't need to go hide in the woods. Right. I want to be around people. I want to challenge people that don't agree with me. I want to sit down and argue with you. I don't care. It's not like we're going to fight literally over it. Let's have a constructive argument about how you see things and how I see things and try to understand people. We don't hate each other.
Well, that's where it's changed. That's where it's shifted. You used to be able to have debates. You used to be able to have two different views in the same room.
And we still can.
All right, so that's the goal, right? That's what I think that's the purpose of the show, is to bring awareness to you guys that, look, man, just because your neighbor is totally different than you and they voted Trump and you voted Biden or vice versa, it doesn't. That's the great thing about America, is that we have that right, that we have that freedom to be that way and to believe and what religion I am versus what religion my neighbor over here is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what's great about America. It's a diverse country, and we're able to do
this
that.
Way.
We're able to we're able to think how we want to think and practice religion how we want to practice it, and not get strung up in the streets like you will in a lot of other countries.
If this amount of hatred was happening back when America was actually, we wouldn't have diversity.
No.
If we had that much, no one would want to come here. People don't want to come here right now.
We came to it. We escaped Europe and all those other countries to escape persecution and to have freedom.
Right.
And we had it, and we have a constitution that it protects that protects our personal freedoms and that protects our rights. And we are slowly giving that up and it's all related to the fear mongering that's done on the TV. You know what I mean? We're slowly saying, oh, we need protection. We're scared. All right, so we'll sign this bill, and this bill will have, just basically giving up more rights, more freedoms, more sovereignty. So be aware.
A TikTok came on the other day and it was talking about the difference.
It starts with the changes in you, right?
Yeah.
It's the change in you. Will you allow somebody else to think differently, believe differently, and vote differently than you? Can you be okay with that? And you can ask yourself that question, because that's what makes America America. You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you, but we can still live. You can still be my neighbor.
So here's my call to action. If you know somebody, or yourself, if you happen to stumble across this podcast, and now that we're 27 minutes into it, you're probably boiling. But for whatever reason, you're still watching.
Yeah, why?
And if you have a different belief, or if you know someone that has a different belief, please reach out. I am dead ass serious about this. We will have a video conference.
He said dead ass.
Dead ass. We will have a video conference to just talk about the guidelines, the rules, and then I will fly somebody here to sit down on this podcast with us to talk about a different view constructively.
I would love
for those that think that we are just blowing smoke.
Let's do that.
I am totally down to have somebody I want you to go as far to the other side of what you think I think, and let's talk about it.
That's what we're going to call the show too. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely. It will be time to talk about it. And my only guideline and rule in it is
that's the intro.
Keep an open mind.
There. That's the intro.
Keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Don't be so open-minded that your brain falls out of your skull, but don't be so close-minded that you can't see right in front of your own face, because you're missing the whole world.
Yeah.
I am a genuine good person. Everybody knows this. And yet some people, like, I get comments on the TikTok, and when they take a 30-second clip of me and they'd be like, Charlie Brown, whatever. Like, you don't know enough to make a judgment yet. So let's sit down and let's have a genuine conversation.
Yeah.
Rational and genuine. So if you're out there, share us with your friends. This is my call to action. I want someone with completely opposing views, and I am totally down to and I want to see the other side.
I'm going to narrate it.
I want to see it. I genuinely do. I want to understand it.
Convince us.
We were just talking about this last night with my wife. Somebody was talking about man versus woman, and women are oppressed, and they always have been. And I said, this guy, Jordan Peterson, brought up a great point, and I said, babe, listen to this. I want to hear what your thoughts are after you listen to this. And for 20 minutes, we went back and forth about it. Just completely man versus woman kind of a conversation.
You didn't scream at each other?
No.
You didn't punch at each other?
I said, I want to hear your genuine. I want to hear your genuine. I'm not going to steer this conversation. Just tell me what you think. And her thoughts were, I was shocked. That's my wife. Mm-hmm. In a good way. I was just like, what? I mean, yeah. Okay. How people hear things is different than how they really are to other people.
Right. Perspective.
Same exact video, completely different perspectives.
Yep.
And I love that. And I want people to get into that. So I'm challenging, and I'm willing to take it on first. Find me somebody with the opposite views. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it.
We'll see you guys next week. Send this over to your person that you think has total opposite views, and we will get them on the show.
You have to go watch all of our podcasts to understand my views.
We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Get along, be kind, and all that good stuff. We love you. Who cares if you're different than us? You're better looking. We don't care.